Hey, it's Aran here. In today's video, I'm actually going to share with you building a business from scratch. And I'm going to show you the process, the mapping out, the way of getting customers, the sales funnel, how to set up the automations, how to set up the fulfillment, basically every single step of me creating a business from scratch. Now, this particular business is a really simple business, and I thought it's a great opportunity to basically document the thought process and what goes into setting it up. Now, this particular business, I'm going to explain to you why I chose this particular business. So the first step is you want to always look for, and this is not like a must rule, but it's a pretty common rule, which is basically you're solving your own problem. What have you encountered in life, in business, that is a struggle for you? And then you figure out solving that problem for yourself. And then you're like, hey, I managed to solve that problem. How can I help other people to solve that problem? Because if I had that problem, chances are other people have had it as well. And this is the constant thought process that I'm always thinking, okay, what's really slowing me down in business? What is tedious? What is boring? What is unexciting? What is the struggle? And how can I fix it? And as I fix it, I can also look at what I created and decide for myself, is this something that I can turn into some sort of a business or turn into an income stream or, something along these lines? Now, maybe it might not end up being a business. Maybe it'll just end up being a digital asset as a piece of content, like I share a struggle, I share a story, how I solved it, turns into a YouTube video or a blog post. That's okay too. But in some cases, if you keep your eyes opened to the different opportunities in the market, you might be like, you know what, actually, I can turn this into a business. And that just comes from, number one, familiarity with the market, understanding the market, how we can solve their issues and things along these lines. So the problem that I experienced and other people have experienced as well is when you want to create a professional email address, i.e. contact@aranbukai.com, as opposed to a Gmail or a Yahoo, what happens is that you need to sign up for email hosting. Now, you can use various options. The primary option is either Google Workspace, which costs $6 per month per user, or you can use something like any sort of WordPress hosting, which they provide email hosting. Now, WordPress hosting typically is covered by companies like Bluehost, SiteGround, HostGator, GoDaddy, these types of companies. That's who provides these type of services. Now, the problem that I encountered with my clients is that a lot of times when they sign up for email hosting with any of these companies, the email hosting costs a certain amount of money for the first 1, 2, maybe 3 years, give or take $50, maybe $60 per year, not per month, per year, which is fine. But then after 2 to 3 years, these companies tend to jack the price really high. And, I had this recently when I was doing a tech Q&A in a membership, and somebody was saying that they were paying, I think, $50 or $60 per month for email hosting. And then, because it's now the third year of the subscription, the price is going to go up to $190 a year, which is quite a dramatic increase. It's 3 times almost, right? In terms of increase, give or take, which is a big increase. So they want to know if they're getting the best option. I've already heard about this situation, and I've spoken to a few people, and I came across this and all that. And, I just wanted to look into this. So I sent the information to my virtual assistant. I said, go look into the different hosting companies and see if the same thing happens with different hosting companies. Let's see if there's a better deal. And yeah, there are better deals. You can migrate the pricing and migrate to a different email software or a different email hosting and go back to the same plan of $60, $50, whatever. Basically, people can switch between competitors to always keep the best pricing. That's possible. However, it's a hassle. So then I thought, okay, what's the solution? How can I maybe solve that to my clients? Considering I have so many clients, every client that I deal with, when they're starting online, they need this service. There's no two ways about it. So that was problem number one, pricing. And the fact that the price gets jacked up. So what I did is I contacted a company who has a reseller pricing option. And I basically inquired and said, hey, I wanted to know if I buy bulk package of email accounts and become a reseller to my clients, what's the pricing? Okay. So I did that. I got all the information and then I crunched the numbers. If that's the pricing that I'm paying, what can I then sell it for while maintaining consistency and continue to be profitable over the years, basically? So it turns into an income stream. Maybe not a big income stream, but an income stream. So that's what I did. I crunched the numbers and I figured out pricing that makes sense. So just to be straight up on the pricing that I'm selling it, and this might subject to change, but at the time, as I'm crunching numbers, it's going to be $36 per year, as opposed to other companies of $50 or $60 a year and then $190. But I can keep it at $36 per year. So that is problem number one that I've solved. Second problem that I've experienced, and this is a problem that I've already kind of solved, is that when people are setting up or starting online and they need help with setting up email addresses and connecting the domain name and things along these lines. That is very tedious. They have to learn about terms like CNAME, DNS, A record, and all this stuff, which is just honestly mind-numbing tech stuff. So what I've done is I hired a virtual assistant who I've trained on how to set these things up. He had some basic understanding already. I've recorded tutorials on how to do that with the different platforms. Yes, those tutorials live on YouTube as well, so people can find me there as content. But because the task, no matter how good the tutorial is, can be a daunting task for somebody who's not tech savvy. And it's just easier to have somebody help you do that on Zoom. So I have a virtual assistant who does that for a small fee. Now, the reality is that it's not just creating an email address. It's also connecting a domain name to platforms, connecting Stripe, connecting PayPal. We might as well just package it all up into one thing. So what I've done is I've created a email hosting reseller service where there's a one-time fee for setting up the whole thing, basically like the Zoom call. And there is a subscription model. So there's instant cash flow for the one-on-one session with my virtual assistant. And there is also email hosting. Now, there's a couple of additional reasons which I also am solving my own problem. One of those problems is that my tech support membership, while profitable, I am paying virtual assistants to do those tasks as part of the membership. And while that is good, the reality is those tasks that my virtual assistant does, these tasks are really valuable, not just for my members, but it's valuable across the board for anyone that might be needing this particular service. And therefore, it opens up, so I'm paying a salary to my virtual assistant and they're serving my clients, but all of a sudden I'm creating another income stream that could assist me in offsetting the costs that the virtual assistant costs me, which means that the margins of my membership increases. Basically, I have better margins because if I have enough subscriptions going, with the email hosting, that means that I cover the costs. Now, I'm going to give you fictional numbers here just for the sake of demonstration. Let's just say that I pay my virtual assistant $1,000 a month. $1,000 a week. $4,000 a month, multiply by $12 a year. That's $48,000. Let's just say that is the cost for a virtual assistant. Now, it doesn't really matter. I'm just giving you a fictional number. Now, let's just say for a moment, just pretend for a moment that I am going to have email hosting and I am profitable at $2 per month. $2 per month per client. That is $24 per customer per year. So if I divide $48,000 divided by $24, that means that I need 2,000 customers. Now, if I acquire one customer or two customers, for example, let's say I acquire 3 customers per day, for the next year, that is 1,000 customers. In 2 years of me acquiring customers, that number, 2,000 people, will completely pay for my virtual assistant completely. And it means that any income that is in my current membership, which is what is currently paying for my virtual assistant, I have that extra profit. Now remember, because I'm setting up an additional fee of, one-time setup fee, let's just pretend that it's $100, then realize all of a sudden I don't need 2,000 customers, I need way less, Now, how the numbers work, what I do is I open up a Google Doc or a Google Sheet to actually crunch those numbers. So I'm going to show you me crunching the numbers in this tutorial as well, so you can kind of get a feel for the Google Sheet and how that works. So that's basically the process. Now, once I have all of that set up and I've crunched the numbers, I've got a business plan, I know how it works, things along these lines. The next step is very simple: market research. Now, I've already done that and the market research went really well. And the market research is really simple. Because I already have the customers, I already have people who need it. I basically had a conversation with a few people, probably 4 or 5 people. And I said, hey, I'm considering doing ABC. And I told them the idea. Would that something that you think would be valuable to you or others? And I had multiple people say, yes, I would love that for either myself or I wish I had that when I got started, depending on if they already have it or not. So by doing that, I knew immediately, I got a market, And out of those 5 people that I've spoken to about it, 2 people that I've explained this with paid me to do this, So the fact that I've closed the deals on Zoom, did that conversation, that gave me confidence. There is a market here. It makes sense. Now, if you look at numbers, straight numbers, $36 per year multiplied by 2 plus 97 plus 97, that is 266 immediately right out the gate, which gives me by 2 customers. That's what I charge for those particular setups. So here's the deal: when you are crunching numbers, you can then figure out how to be profitable, and that's kind of what I've done. So now with that said, I've now up to the stage where I've done market research and I'm showing you the steps. I've chosen a domain name, okay, which in this case, it is dcthosting.com. I invested, because I crunched the numbers, in the reseller license. I worked out salary and pricing with my virtual assistant. I worked out the pricing model. And I also recorded a sales video where I explained this problem, what I've just told you, okay? I've recorded a video. I closed the first client on Zoom. I got them paid up, and I have set them up myself to see the process. So I tested the fulfillment process to see if it all works out, okay? Now, in terms of continuing to acquire more customers, I've got a strategy on that, which basically it's a collaboration strategy, because this problem of setting up email addresses, it's not just my problem. There are many coaches out there who have customers where they help them, create a lead magnet and maybe set up a coaching business or set up an online course. They all need that particular service, but they don't have this tech setup, the reseller license. They don't have the virtual assistant, the training, or the interest and patience to take care of this tech stuff. So then my business plan was, okay, let me go to coaches who actually have this particular service and tell them, hey, listen, I'll set up a sales page on my website, and it's going to be a collaboration. And that collaboration is basically going to be me recording a sales video to explain that I've partnered with you. And by partnering with you, what I'm doing is that I'm going to have the sales for, say, $147, let's just say, for the whole service. $50 commission goes to that coach that gave me the referral. I will pay to my virtual assistant for doing the task, and I will get a small profit out of it, plus I will get this ongoing subscription. That's the business model, really simple. And it is simply a matter of creating the collaboration page, reaching out to a bunch of coaches, and stuff like that. So I already had one coach who I've spoken to. I knew they had some interest in this type of a setup because they didn't want to do the tech stuff. I've spoken to them and I've recorded the sales video and explained to them how that's going to work, figure out the pricing, and I need to create a sales page, the automation, everything in my end. So again, all of that done for you, or all this step-by-step over the shoulder tutorial, I'm going to actually share in this video all these steps, okay? So that is figure out how to get more customers. Of course, I'm going to actually get my own customers as well, but there is that aspect too. Now, sell more product. Well, I've got that ongoing as well, so that's something I need to work on. And I need to now also set up the fulfillment and automation on the back end. What does that mean? That means that I have already got the first fulfillment done with my one client, but I need to set up the entire process. Number one, I need to set up the process of selling it, and I need to set up the process on the back end of the fulfillment, because I don't want to have to deal with the fulfillment myself, okay? And then I can go ahead and promote. Now, I want to give you a visual of how that works. Now, I'm using Canva to actually map this out because I want to share my screen and show you how I map it out. So, first thing is there's going to be an order form for my clients with a sales video explaining the service and an option to pay. Now, I'm going to do $36 per year plus $97 or $147 for a setup fee, or join the membership. That's another kind of option. Okay, so that's page number one. So that's an order form. Now, from there, I will have a thank you page. Now, the thank you page, here's the deal about the thank you page. The thank you page will simply have a form submission, which will be posted on Blue, which is my project management tool. I'll show you over to show how to do all that. And the client fills it out, which adds them to the CRM pipeline, which is the automation of the fulfillment, which again, I will show you all of that on the back end. From there, I will have, and this is the funnel, 1 and 2. That's it. Really, really simple. Okay. Now, later down the track, I can also set up, not just the order form, I can actually set up a lead magnet funnel. Let me show you how that would work. Lead magnet landing page, free PDF, how to set up your email hosting, professional email address, so you can start building a list. Let's just say, right? And then I can basically give them a checklist on how to set it up, give them that so they could go do it on their own. But the call to action will be like, hey, maybe sign up with DCT Hosting, and not only you'll have the subscription at the cheapest rate, the price will not go up, and on top of that, you will have the team actually do it with you. So this could be something a little bit more in the future. Right now, my focus is to make sales. This is more of an evergreen, pipeline, but the more important piece is actually here. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with this service right here, which is the order form. Okay, but this is how the funnel could work. Now, let's just say that someone makes a payment. So here's the deal, right? I'm going to move this over now a little bit. If somebody makes the payment, I'm going to need a few things to be done. I need an email to VA to follow up. I need an email thank you buyer. And that's the two main things that I need, right? There's also like invoice to client for buying, right? That's another good little thing that I need to obviously set up as an automation once they pay. And I need to, that's the main stuff that I need, okay? So that's the automation that I'll need based on here. Now here in the CRM, what do I need? I need to have a new client, and then I'm gonna need to fulfilled, and then I need to pay commission paid, and then I need to invoice paid to VA or something like that, right? I'm gonna need to have like a bit of a workflow pipeline in the CRM area. So this is for emails. This is all emails, and this is a CRM. That's the two automations on backend. So this is the fulfillment. This is the marketing side. Okay. That's kind of the flow. And I'm going to use Blue for this, and I'm going to need this email. Now here on the new client, I'll need the CRM, but I'll also need something else. And that something else is in between here, I'm going to need a calendar booking for my VA to make their life easier. I will also need tutorial for my VA plus SOP on how to set it up, okay? So then they know how to do it. Now in my case, I've already done it more or less, so they know how to do it, but if I was starting this from scratch, I would definitely need to have process, okay? And that can only be done because I figured out the process of how to do it, okay? So that's just to give you an idea. This is the marketing funnel, and then of course, we got a lead magnet that I need to create, right? So here there's a lead magnet that I need to create, and email sequence as well. Follow up and close. Signing up. So this is another thing that I need to create, okay? So this is kind of the process. So this is basically everything. Now, in terms of the fulfillment, notice there is another channel to get more clients, okay? Because getting them to the order form could actually be done in another way. Remember, I said I will actually have partnerships. So what I can do in addition to this, let me just move this over. I will do a order form for each individual partnership so that they can use it with their clients to sell service. Okay. And I've already got one person that does that. So I'm going to like one person that I close to do this. So again, I will show you over the shoulder of me actually doing this entire setup and also the automations. And then this will come also here, going to be the same thank you page basically. Okay, so that's identity. I think I can actually connect this. Let me just play with it for a second. Okay. So you can see here, I basically am setting up also like I can actually set up things like this. So it's pretty cool. You can actually create little workflows. I think you just have to type the word L and then it will pop up basically. So lead magnet to order form. Now with the opt-in page, I'll actually probably need to have another thank you page as well. So that's another thing that I might have to do. So this. Okay, so this will be L, this will go here, and then the thank you page will go here, and then I just click on the word L, right? That's how I do it. So, and there you go. So that's kind of the process. That's how it kind of all connects. Okay, so let's go back here to the steps. So now what we're going to do is now that you got a visual of how I'm building it and the problem I'm solving and all that stuff, then, we're going to move on to actually setting up over the shoulder all of that process. So the first thing that I've done is I recorded a sales video to explain the service, and you can see me right here. And I explain the service, give a title, what they're getting, payment information, and all that stuff. And you can see the payment right here. Now this is purely for the subscription. And I've also set up terms and conditions so they can click on it and then they'll see the terms and conditions. So that's all set up. Okay. Now, what I'm also doing is I need to basically, because the way the flow of the payments work is people are going to basically buy the tech setup. Okay. So they're going to pay for the tech setup first, and the subscription may or may not be included. Okay. So that kind of varies, but people are definitely going to pay for the 97 or 197 or 147 or whatever. So here's the deal. I'm setting up an automation now in system. Now, the way I do it is you need to go to system and you want to create a tag. In this case, I'm going to call this tech setup, I think. So there you go. One-on-one tech session done with you buyer. That's what I called it. Then I'm going to go to workflows. And in workflows, I'm going to set up my virtual assistant to receive the automation. So when a tag is added to a purchase, they're going to receive an email. Now the email that I've written says as follows. Hey, Peter, letting you know that someone just paid for the one-on-one session. They received the email from they'll receive an email with short questionnaire using Blue. They can be added to the CRM, which I will show that shortly. You'll be able to see them in Blue. In the meantime, please follow up. And then I give them the name and email as well. And I tell them to also, basically, I'm telling Peter, send them a message to let them know, hey, please join. Please come and book a call with me. Here's the information and so on and so forth. Now, I need to create the thank you page for my VA to actually send them as well. Although it will all be automated, but I want to give him the option to follow up as well. And I've given him the link for the purchase in case they're going to sign up for the subscription in addition to the one-on-one setup. Okay, so I need to come back to this and add the thank you page, but I'm now going to go and set up the actual sales funnel. So here I am in system and I'm going to click on create. So the purpose of this is going to be to sell. I'm going to use US dollars. The domain name that I'm going to use for this is going to be For the sake of demonstration, I will just use this domain name, although I probably will change it, but for now it's good enough. So this will be tech setup done with you session. Save. Now I'm going to click here and I'm going to go to the order form because it's a really just simple process. It's just an order form. There's nothing more to it besides the order form. So let me just have a look at the different options here. Pick a template. This might be good. And click on the edit. Then with you tech setup session. And I'm going to put here the information. And this is the information. Move this here. Page or website platform. Is your custom email address connected to your email autoresponder software? Are you able to receive payments through with your platform? Okay, and then I'm going to say, this is so annoying on this color of links. Oh, there you go. If you answered no to these questions, some of these questions, now I can also do a marketing strategy where I say it's $197, but you know, if somebody like a referral does it for cheaper. Okay, so in this case, I'm gonna set it up where it's gonna be done for like a video for one of my partners, basically. I'm going to say 147 in this case, and I'm going to change the color. Now I've got a branding thing as well, so let me just go to my branding. So this is my branding. Now I'm going to now also get the video that I recorded for this. Now for the sake of demonstration, I'm just going to copy the code and use the Loom video. I don't typically do it with Loom, but in this case I'm just gonna do it that way, just for the sake of demonstration. Usually I have a video editor that does all of that, so I'll show you that in a second. Now I'm gonna basically upload the video right here. Click on custom embed, the code, fit in. Going to also make it way smaller. This. Put a background if I want to. Let's just have a look, see if I've got a background that I like. Yeah, that's cool. Now what I'm gonna do is make this background color the text headline, bit of a thing on top, margins. It's cool. Delete all of this, don't really need any of that. This color, we'll change that. Okay, we're happy with that. Want the setup fee, 147. The colors again. Don't really need the company, that tax number, first name, their phone number. That's good. Okay, let's make this payment this hard shadow, this hard shadow, this hard shadow as well. See what this looks like. Now this embed code is not working, so let's just do something else. Let's use a different embed code. And on the embed code, let's make it 50. Let's delete this. Let's have a look, see what it looks like. Okay, let's grab the embed code again. Still not working. Let's go and look at it again. This code is definitely not working. Try this again. There you go. Okay. All right, so I can delete this stuff right here. Let's look at the mobile. Okay, I can make this smaller. Make this. Okay. Now I'm customizing the mobile, basically. Contact form, details, sign up now. Okay, that's good. Next headline. Okay, and then this one. Okay, let's go back to desktop. That looks good. Happy with that. Perfect. Now, we're going to exit from this for a second, and I'm going to change the name because this one is going to be Michelle. That's the partner, right? So, we're going to give this a name. Now, this is the eternal name, right? So, I'll probably change the name, but anyway, for now it's good enough. Now, one other thing that needs to be done is the SEO settings. So click on settings and then go down, instead of order form, call it Michelle. This is done with you, tech session partnership between Eran Bukai from .com Truths and Michelle Gilroy. Assist people getting their basic tech stuff set up with domains, emails, and payments processing. Done with you, tech setup. Bukai, and I need to create a social image as well. And I've got a Facebook Pixel installed already, so I'm just going to review content, something else, and that's it. So I can do that. Cool. I can also make this rounded on the top if I want to, I think, like so. You'll see it's going to be a little bit rounded on the top. Don't know if it really matters, to be honest. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, now, so that's all set up. Now, here is a few things that needs to be continued. So first of all, I can set up an affiliate commission as well. In this case, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to just pay her manually, so it doesn't really matter. And then I don't have to risk it where she has to use the affiliate link, quote unquote, every time. Because that's not. I can also add an order bump. That's something that, because it's a partnership page, I'd want to talk to her about. But for the sake of demonstration, now this is going to be a digital product, basically. And the resources, the way it's going to work is when they sign up, I'm going to give them access to a tag. And the tag is going to be tech setup ECT, like so, because that will trigger the email to my virtual assistant. And the price plan, here new, Michelle, done with you, tech session partnership, done with you, tech session. Okay, so done with you, tech setup session. Okay, and then it's going to be one shot, 147 in this particular case. Save, and that's that. Okay, Now what I can do, and I could go over that with Michelle, I could add an order bump for the tech support membership as well. That way she can potentially receive commission, because that's an actual affiliate commission that she could receive. Now I also want to add an automation where Michelle and my virtual assistant gets notified. Now I already have that set up with the virtual assistant, but I need to set up a notification so when a new sale happens, Michelle gets notified, because I wanted to know as well. So I'm going to click on add action, and I'm going to send an email to a specific address. I'm going to click on the plus button, and I'm going to need her email address. Okay, and hey Michelle, congrats. And I'm going to say the name of the person. So first name, last name, and the email address as well. Okay, something like that. Do a little emoji. And then I'll get her email address. Okay, we're happy with that. Click on save. So she will be notified. Now, I also want to send an email to the buyer. Okay, now the buyer, it's important that they're also labeled correctly as well. So to do that, I'm going to actually tag them. I'm going to click on tag, so then I know where it came from. So I know it's a Michelle referral. So I'm going to click on create a tag. Michelle, done with you, referral. I'm going to call buyer. So I like to label people buyers like that, so then I know it's a buyer. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to add another action, add a tag, Michelle, like so. Save rule. Now let's have a look if there's anything else I want to add a rule on. Okay, so I want to send them an email, the customer. So click on the plus button, and I'm going to say tech setup session. Hey there, first name. Okay, so bullet points. Actually, I'm going to set up a page that explains all of this. Okay, now I need to get the link together for that. For now, I'll save this email. I will need to customize this, but this is just to give you an idea. So now, now I've got the sales process. Now I gotta record a thank you video / thank you page. So I actually have a video for that. So here it is, tech setup thank you page. Click on share, embed, copy, go back, and then let's go here. And I'll just use this template. Save, edit. Let's do a custom embed, edit code, paste in the video. I will actually set up the video separately, but for now it's good enough. here. And notice that this is basically an upsell opportunity, right? Let's make it all the same. I don't want to use this color. So let's go here, customize this, grab the link, which is this one. Okay, overview, what to do next. I can delete all of this stuff as well. I don't need any of that. Let's do step 0, 5. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this as well. So then they've got learn about email hosting, and I'm gonna need to set up the blue project. So let's do another button. So it's a bit different. Oops. It's not learn about email hosting. This one would be okay, it's cool. All right, so that's that. Now on this desktop thing, let's just move this down a little bit. Okay, it's cool. It's a cool little page. Let's change the background. Okay, let's do background color. Okay, so that's good. We're happy with that. Let's do background color again. Let's try to make it consistent. Okay. You know, I'm gonna delete this. It's just unnecessary. Okay, good enough. We're happy. Yep. All right, now let's see what that looks like. Cool, that's great. One thing that this can be is maybe a little bit darker. Okay, obviously I gotta create the form. Okay, so that's that. Now we're gonna go to blue. And this is gonna be the next topic, as we're gonna set up the entire fulfillment process on the back end, basically.